Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Good evening, and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Michael Germain. Early this morning, vandals broke the windows of multiple downtown storefronts. One of those businesses was White Buffalo Thriftery, another being an empty retail space for lease. The owners of White Buffalo were woken up this morning by a phone call from the police saying that their windows had been broken out at about 1:45 this morning. They were hoping whoever committed the vandalism steps forward.
Ultimately, it would be nice to see whoever did do the damage to the window just to come in and apologize and maybe help us clean it up. If they don't, the police department's just they will do their job and make sure that they find what happens and go from there.
The owners say that if someone takes accountability for the damage, that they would be happy to settle things outside of court. White Buffalo Thriftery will still remain open despite the damages. Well, overcast and rainy conditions are expected in La Crosse this weekend. With that, let's send it over to meteorologist Alex Harrington for a look at our forecast.
Good late evening there, folks. Let's start off. What do you need to get out of the forecast here? Light rain is expected to develop overnight tonight. Showers and more thunderstorms are expected on your Sunday. Breezy as we go on into Monday with another chance of a shower or a thunderstorm. The rest of the overnight going on into the beginning of your Sunday and the end of your Sunday calls for those shower chances to increase by the time we get to 7 o'clock. Your lunch hour looks rainy, and at 5 o'clock looks rainy as well. Could be looking at a couple thunderstorms as well across the area. That shower and thunderstorm chance here on your Sunday ends on Monday with breezy conditions behind this weather system. But we have another weather system that will move into the areas we go on into your Tuesday, and then on and off shower chances Wednesday going on into your Thursday. Maybe a little bit more in the way of showers on your Thursday as we carry on towards a cooler pattern as we head towards the end of the week, going on into the following weekend, and then more showers in the following work week.
Thank you for that, Alex. Raising funds for life-saving equipment. That was the goal for the West Salem Fire Department Chicken Queue. This is the department's first time they've run their chicken queue in their brand new chicken pit, which was funded by the Sons of American Legion Post 51. Staff arrived at 5 this morning and anticipate to sell over 450 pieces of chicken. The fire captain shared with News 8 why they decided to host this event.
Shelby's been doing it for decades, and you know, they have a great turnout. We started this actually the COVID year because we couldn't host our annual dance, which is next week. That year we couldn't have our dance obviously because of COVID, so then we had a chicken queue, and then ever since then we decided that we'll just keep continuing doing that.
Over 300 people stopped by to support the fire department. Today, the community came together to clean up the yards of those who can't do it themselves. Neighbors Day is an annual effort by Habitat for Humanity and volunteers to help elderly and disabled neighbors get their yards ready for the spring. For over 30 years, on the last Saturday of April, volunteers from around La Crosse have geared up to rake leaves, clean windows, and trim shrubs for the good of the community.
We all have residents in our communities that, they take really great pride in their homes, but, as people get older or people with disabilities, they aren't able to take care of their yards like the rest of us. So it's an opportunity for neighbors to help their neighbors.
About 400 volunteers helped clean up 200 yards this year. Residents are able to sign up yearly by contacting Habitat for Humanity. Advocating to those who have lost their lives to suicide. The 11th annual Dance for Hope aims to create optimism in the community while providing support and resources for people who are in a crisis. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the La Crosse Area Suicide Prevention Initiative, a group that is increasing awareness about suicide and prevention throughout the greater La Crosse area. A variety of different performances by local groups, along with a raffle and door prizes, were all on display. One volunteer says that everyone has their own story.
When you walk by someone and say, "Hi, how are you?" The typical canned answer is, "I'm fine, I'm good, I'm great, how are you?" To reflect it off of them and onto you. And it's okay to not be okay.
If you or someone you know is suffering with mental health issues, you can call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. When you think of a business fair, you typically think of adults, but at the Onalaska Omni Center, it was the exact opposite. The third annual Children's Business Fair featured 38 kid-owned businesses from kids aged 6 to 14. The event provides a platform for children to showcase their businesses, selling everything from handcrafted goods to innovative technological services.
So it's so much fun to see these kids light up, and they're so excited about the candles that they've made and selling those and what they might do with the money. They are the CEOs, and parents step back and allow them to shine.
Awards were given for Best Presentation, Most Original Business Idea, and Highest Business Potential. A big day for Western Technical College students. For hundreds of students, the day has finally come to put on the robe and cap and turn the tassel from right to left, signifying the change from student to graduate. One of those students was Daniel McConnell, an autistic man who graduated today after working on his degree for upwards of 6 years. His friend Sally described the feeling of watching him finally cross the stage.
Well, it felt really amazing because we didn't know if he was going to be able to go across the stage or not. He stood there for a while, kind of doing this, not quite sure what to do next before he took the diploma. So it was very exciting that he actually did it.
The ceremony today honored graduates of fall of 2023 and spring and summer of 2024. Video of the full ceremony is available on Western's YouTube page. We have a link to that on our digital platforms. Coming up on News 8, campus protests continue across college campuses regarding the ongoing conflicts in Gaza. After the break, we'll tell you how NYU and Caltech are dealing with it. Stay with us. That's up next.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Now to the student outrage over Israel's war on Hamas lighting up college campuses. In New York, a new tent city at NYU, and Caltech's closing its campus for the rest of the semester. Protests have spread across the country, leading to a national debate over free speech and the use of force. We have coast-to-coast coverage from Michael George and Elise Preston.
On day 11 of the Columbia protests, students say they have no plans to leave this encampment. Columbia's president, Minouche Shafik, under fire for her response from some on the left and right. Among them, some faculty, including Columbia professor Joseph Howley.
When the university called the NYPD in, what did that do to the situation?
I mean, it was a disastrous escalation of the situation in every possible way. It was a completely ineffectual gesture.
The Columbia demonstrations have spread across the country, and at some universities, protesters have been dealt with aggressively.
For what reason? I'm just standing on the sidewalk.
This morning, police arrested over 100 demonstrators at Northeastern University in Boston. At Ohio State, 3 were arrested as protesters clashed with police.
Give me a reason why you're doing this.
In Atlanta, dozens were arrested at Emory University. Elise Preston is at UCLA.
A fence surrounds this part of campus where dozens of pro-Palestinian tents are set up. Students here at this public university are demanding UCLA divest from companies with ties to Israel. It's been largely peaceful here, but a few miles away at USC, at least 93 people were arrested earlier this week. Citing security reasons, USC has canceled its main graduation ceremony.
At Columbia, commencement is less than 3 weeks away and in danger of being delayed or postponed.
Kind of worrying about my graduation seems a little bit of minimal in terms of, seeing what's happening around the world.
And it's worth noting the seniors graduating this year are part of the COVID generation. Many of them also missed their high school graduation ceremonies due to COVID lockdowns. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Coming up on News 8, a proposed ban on menthol cigarettes isn't coming when expected. What happened and what to expect when we return.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The Biden administration is delaying a proposed ban on menthol cigarettes. In a statement Friday, Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra cited the immense feedback the proposed ban received for the delay. He goes on to say there needs to be more discussion and that it will, quote, take significantly more time. A ban had been expected last year, but the regulatory deadline was then moved to March. A coalition of civil rights and medical organizations announced they were suing the FDA over the missed deadline earlier this month. The ban also posed political risk for President Biden's re-election campaign, which is a concern over a drop-off in turnout from black voters. Studies have shown the vast majority of adults who smoke menthols are black. The FDA investigates bird flu in milk, and non-compete agreements could soon be the thing of the past for millions of workers. Christine Lazar explains in this Eye on Consumer Report.
The Federal Trade Commission is making it easier for workers to switch jobs within their industry. The agency issued a rule banning companies from making employees sign non-compete clauses. The Labor Department also unveiled a new rule that would extend overtime pay to salaried workers who earn less than $1,128 a week. CBS News has confirmed the FDA found evidence of the bird flu virus in grocery store milk. However, the agency expressed confidence that there is no threat to human health. According to the FDA, tests are being conducted to determine how well pasteurization works to reduce the risk of infectious bird flu in the milk supply. And new rules from the Department of Transportation are changing airline fees. Flyers will automatically be able to get refunds for things like canceled and delayed flights, delayed baggage returns, and failed in-flight Wi-Fi. Airlines will also have to be more transparent about extra fees, clearly explaining all additional charges. The new rules will be phased in over the next year.
Now let's send it over to meteorologist Alex Harrington for a look at our forecast.
Good late evening there, folks. Let's take a look at the main things you need to get out of the forecast. Still expecting some light rain overnight with showers and storms expected on your Sunday. So going into your Monday, still a chance of a shower or a storm, but a lot of times it will be a bit more on the dry side with breezy conditions out there. So we plan the rest of your night here. Temperatures dipping on down into the 50s overnight with those showers again developing on your Sunday. A thunderstorm or two not out of the question, especially as we head towards the evening hours as a final cold front moves through the area. Let's show that here with our future track model. Again, generally staying dry overnight tonight. Cloudy, maybe a shower or two, but most places will stay dry. Better chances for those showers and those thunderstorms will be off towards the south and east, towards southern Wisconsin and portions of northern Illinois where they could have some severe weather overnight. And as we move on into your Sunday morning, watch the rain really develop here as we head towards 10 o'clock in the morning over southeastern Minnesota up towards Eau Claire and La Crosse. Could see a thunderstorm or two with this batch of showers, but more showers and thunderstorms as a whole weather system develops over Iowa. This will be the end of this weather system as it moves off towards the north and towards the east, bringing perhaps one more line of thunderstorms here as we head towards 10 o'clock, stretching from Eau Claire right down to Madison into portions of northern Illinois, and then drawing behind this weather system. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm on your Monday afternoon, but the main mode will be that it's going to be breezy on your Monday. We need the rainfall, and we've had some improvement in the drought conditions over portions of northeastern Iowa, which is certainly good news as we head towards planting season. And rainfall amounts, I think our weather models are being a little bit too much here in the rainfall department. It'd be nice if we could get 2 or 3 more inches of rainfall over the course of the next 10 days, but I think it'll be a little bit lower than that. The takeaway, though, is with our weather models that they're indicating at least the likelihood of staying wet over the course of the next 10 days. And as we march out further beyond that, we have about a 50-50 chance of being on the wetter side versus just staying normal in terms of the water department over the areas we go out into May. Really good chances, though, still of being warm for much of the country, including the Cross and Eau Claire and much of the upper Midwest. So the takeaway here is rain is still going to be in the forecast over the next 10 days. We'll see that here in just a moment here, and we'll take those raindrops as well. 63 on your Sunday, showers, perhaps a thunderstorm, breezy on your Monday as those showers and thunderstorms end. Then more shower and thunderstorm chances on Tuesday, tapering more to just showers as we head towards Thursday, and then cooling off by next weekend.
Thank you, Alex. Coming up in sports, the Bucks lose another star. We've got some fast action on the track during the Knights of Columbus relays. Kate has the highlights after the break.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
Welcome to News 8 Now Sports. I'm Kate Overton. Some of our area's top track athletes were showing off their skills during the annual Knights of Columbus relays over at Veterans Memorial Stadium this afternoon. We'll start with the distance medley. It's a 1,200 followed by a 400, 800, and then a 1,600. The Winona girls off to a big lead. They dropped the baton. Could have been costly, but it didn't matter. They dominated, taking first in 13 minutes, 48 seconds. Then in the boys race, watch Declan Gregg, the Aquinas Blue Gold, starts on the outside, but immediately gets to the front of the pack, and that was the start they needed. Jonathan Skemp crossing the finish line in 11 minutes, 15 seconds. Girls 100-meter hurdles, Winona's Alexis Urbick with a strong finish. The junior takes first in 15:74. Boys 110 hurdles, and this one was close, but it's Winona's Dion Prolo taking first, and Holman's Jakai Ayad takes second by just 0.03 of a second. Both runners with new PRs. Over to the girls 100-meter dash. No surprises here. Holman's Lydia Lazarescu showing why she's one of the fastest in the state. Takes first in 12.8 seconds. Bangor's Bliss Knox takes second. Boys 100-meter dash, and it was close, but Lacrosse Central's Cade Larson comes across the finish line in first in 11:32, while Holman's Jewel Jackson takes second. Maybe my favorite event of the day, the boys 1,600-meter run, and Onalaska's Manny Putz was putting on a show. The two-time cross-country state champ sprinting down the home stretch takes first place in just 4 minutes and 13 seconds. The kid was flying. I believe it's a new PR for him, and he's locked in for state. Onalaska would win the boys team scores, Holman winning the girls. To the MLB, and Brewer fans, look away. This one got ugly. First inning, a few men on for Alex Verdugo, and he gets all of this baseball, sends it high and deep to right field. Just like that, the Yankees take a 3-0 lead. Later in the game, it's now 7-1 New York, and with a man on, Aaron Judge gives this one a ride to dead center field for a 2-run home run. It's now 9-1. Later in the same inning, and the damage doesn't stop. A runner on for Anthony Rizzo, and the Yankees offense was feeling it today. New York gets the win 15-3. Twins out on the West Coast taking on the Angels. Still early in this one, but Minnesota currently leads 10-4 in the fourth inning thanks to a big 3-run home run from Carlos Santana. These two teams will go again tomorrow. I'll do a full draft breakout tomorrow as well, but I just wanted to name a few guys, including Wisconsin native and Badger legend Braylon Allen, the youngest player in this year's draft, heading to New York, where he will look to make the Jets roster and could even be a big help to Aaron Rodgers in their offense. Another Badger name that went off the board, Tanner Bortolini, as the Indianapolis Colts took him in the 4th round to help add to their depth. Don't forget, next year's draft will be in Green Bay. The Bucks are in trouble. Last night, Milwaukee fell in a heartbreaker, 121-118 in overtime. The Pacers now take a 2-1 series lead. And to make things worse, Dame Lillard is listed as doubtful for Game 4 as he suffered a strained Achilles. And with no Dame and no Giannis, things are looking dark, but there's a lot of series left. And if someone can step up, the Bucks still have a chance.
Always heroes born in the playoffs. And there's always, we talked about it the other day, there's someone on our team that hasn't shown himself yet that will in this series, and maybe tomorrow will be the night.
Well, someone's going to need to step up, but the problem is there isn't a lot of options. Chris Middleton did his best, scoring 42 points and playing in 41 minutes in last night's game, but they're going to need big games from guys like Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and pretty much everyone. Doc also said Giannis is starting to work out more, and hopefully we know more on his status after Game 4. That one's set for tomorrow evening. In the Western Conference, the Timberwolves have been dominant in their first-round series. Minnesota currently leads Phoenix 3-0 after last night's 126-109 win. Anthony Edwards has been on a mission. He scored 36 points, 18 of them in the fourth quarter, but the Timberwolves, they haven't won a playoff series since 2004, and the job is not over yet. Wolves versus Suns, Game 4 tomorrow night at 8:30. Again, I'll have more on the NFL draft tomorrow, but that's all for sports. We'll be right back.
Here's a story that hits especially close to home. A Wisconsin mainstay is hanging up his clippers after cutting hair in Glenwood for more than 7 decades. Norm Hagen announces his retirement, and many people say they will miss the 92-year-old. Boyd Hooper reports.
Arrive in Glenwood City, Wisconsin, and you'll find history outside.
Norm Barbershop, this is Norm.
And in.
That was the first Cadillac in town.
Norm Hagen and Glenwood City history.
That's the first bank.
Have always been close.
And this is my first barbershop I was in, right there.
So maybe it was inevitable. He'd just become part of it.
72 years, yeah.
72 years cutting the hair of Glenwood City's men. A haircut and a massage.
And all for $10. He's got his price sign right there.
That's me and Norm. Norm giving me my first haircut.
Huh. Alex Brigham is hardly alone.
I was a little kid.
How many people Bill Johnson's age can say they're still going to the same barber?
I'm 69 years old.
But then how many towns can claim a 92-year-old barber?
This is a Lee Barber School.
Trained.
Yeah, I'm right there, I guess.
During the Truman administration.
Giving a guy a shave.
Married to Mary, and then kids.
I retired before my dad did.
Chris and Todd and Craig grew up in their dad's barbershop.
Got to learn a fabulous vocabulary you couldn't use in school.
Or at home, yeah.
Yeah, right.
The need for a haircut.
What do you think happened to that chip?
Has never been a prerequisite for stopping at Norm's.
A lot of the world's problems were solved here in this room.
When the cafe closed, one of Norm's customers brought him a coffee maker so they'd have a place to share the town's goings-on while venting.
Yeah, right.
About politics and the Packers.
There might be 20 bushel.
Though lately the talk has taken a turn.
You're retiring?
Yeah.
The only barber in Glenwood City is calling it quits.
You got to respect his retirement, I guess, you know. I think he earned it, so.
Some are suggesting Norm take his 1948 barber chair.
Put the hydraulic fluid in there.
Home with him.
Put it in the corner of the bedroom and we'll come out there and get a haircut.
We asked Norm why he finally decided to retire at 92.
I'm going to try something else.
Turns out it's not too late.
You're going to try something else.
Yeah.
To add a new chapter to Norm Hagen's history.
I'll come to your retirement party for sure.
Oh, what a great story. Norm says he would like to spend more time with his son on his farm. We'll have one final check of your forecast when we return.
An active 10 days here with showers and thunderstorms on your Sunday. Maybe another thunderstorm on your Monday, but drying out, turning breezy. High temperatures are going to stay mild as we go on into Tuesday and Wednesday. More shower chances, cooler by next weekend.
Kind of curious if Green Bay is going to be able to hold all those people for the NFL draft.
I know, seeing those videos of Detroit, just so many people packed there. It's going to be fun in Green Bay next year.
I'm excited.
So much fun.
Well, we want to thank you so much for watching News 8 Now this weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night.